What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So we're kicking it old school today with a good old-fashioned full face of one brand review kind of style video. They just expanded their Conceal and Perfect line with these little sponge tip applicator tubey kind of products. They have an under eye brightener, a liquid highlighter, and also a liquid contour. So we're gonna throw all these on, try these out for the first time, and also just talk about some things that are older as well, but maybe you haven't seen them on my channel, maybe I haven't talked about them at all. There's a couple things in here that I literally have never actually put on my face, but I've had them for about a year, so it's a little overdue. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the first thing I have is this MILANI Soft Focus Glow Enhancer. It's a complexion enhancer, a lot like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter in my opinion. So it comes in a really nice little tube pump kind of packaging, and the color, I don't really know how many colors they have. I'll put it over here. So this is in the shade number 1 Nude Glow, and it's just a really pretty neutral champagne color, and it has a very like skin tone-esque quality to it, like I said, just like the Hollywood Flawless filter. I'm going to go ahead and put it all over my face as a primer today. I have oily skin, by the way, so I gotta be careful with products like this. Here's what it looks like. So it definitely does look different than just putting on your skincare, I feel like. Like it definitely does add a like noticeable glow to your skin. But there's no detectable obvious shimmer. Like it just gives you a straight up sheen, and it's really nice and softening and just very smoothing on the skin. So I feel like it makes a really good primer for under your foundation. Like your foundation just glides on it. So for foundation, this is the one that I've had for literally damn near a year. This is the Cream to Powder Foundation. I got the shade 210 Creamy Nude, and I got this a long time ago before summer. And as per usual, I do have a good amount to cover up today. I've got some little beautiful red acne spots, so what's new? I kind of steer clear of cream to powder foundations because they usually just don't look very flattering on the skin. It's like medium coverage. It's definitely not giving me full coverage around here where I have all those little red spots, but it is kind of giving me that like weird textury look, especially around my nose. Let's zoom you guys in. It's just not sitting the best around my T-zone for some reason, and I feel like just wherever I have texture, I see potential issues happening. And it's kind of hard to tell because I use that glow enhancer underneath, but I would say this is like a satiny kind of finish. Okay, so I actually ended up feeling bad about not doing a side-by-side, so I went and took off this side and just re-moisturized. So this side's gonna be our glow enhancer side, this side's just gonna be skincare. I like to be thorough, okay? I feel guilty when I'm not thorough. So I went and wet my sponge, so I'm gonna do the sponge on this side. We're gonna see if we get better coverage and whatnot. You guys know how we do. Okay. Where is it? I feel like in order to use a sponge, I really have to dig my sponge in there and like really saturate it for it to actually show up on my skin. But it is giving me better coverage now I'm doing that, because whenever I first dipped it in there, it's like, okay, where'd it go? It's definitely not the most effortless blend in my opinion. I do think I like the sponge better than the brush. It just seems like it's sinking in better. And I would also call this a satin finish, so I don't really feel like the enhancer, like the glow enhancer, is really affecting the finish a whole lot. The color is a slight bit off for me as well. It's a little bit too light, but there's what it looks like. Honestly, maybe a darker shade that actually matched my skin tone it might look better, because I found that if you use a shade that's too light for your skin or too dark, if it's not a perfect match, it can end up emphasizing things that you normally wouldn't see if it actually matched you, and it can just kind of sit weird on the skin. So just keep that in mind, that if it's too light, it can look kind of off. It's not bad, it's just it looks a little heavy on the skin. So going into the Conceal and Perfect Under Eye Brightener now, I have the shade number 2 Melon. It just says, is a brightening under eye tint. It instantly illuminates the under eyes with microfine pearls. 2-in-1 makeup and skincare with hyaluronic acid, caffeine, and color correcting pigments. So I'm just gonna stipple it right there around the cavage where I've got that little like crest under the eyes. And normally I would do this before foundation. I just kind of forgot about it, to be honest. Like I just started going and then just got carried away. It happens. Honestly, I'm not really seeing a big difference in the way this looks and their Supercharged brightening under eye tints with the little orange too. Like this blew up, I would say 6 months or so ago, especially the pink. They also call this one a brightening under eye tint. They say it instantly illuminates the under eyes with microfine pearls. 2-in-1 makeup and skincare with hyaluronic acid, caffeine, and color correcting pigments. That's literally word for word exactly what they call this one. Instantly illuminates under eyes with microfine pearls, 2-in-1 makeup and skincare with hyaluronic acid, caffeine, and color correcting. Is this the same formula? But I'm not getting a lot of coverage out of this. So you don't have to have a lot of coverage out of a color corrector, but you want enough to where it actually cancels out the discoloration. I mean, I guess it's done it to a degree, but I feel like it needs to be more coverage. Let's just put it on directly with the sponge tip. I'm just gonna let it sit there for like a minute or so just to absorb the pigment and whatnot, just to kind of dry down to where it gives better coverage, hopefully. Oh my God, no way. No freaking way. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same product. Like the formula, I'll go ahead and put up the ingredients. I'll highlight all the similar ones in the same color highlighter. So I'm gonna leave that up for a second, or just pause it right here. I'm just gonna blend this out with my finger, and yeah, letting that sit there for like 2 minutes didn't do anything. It's a very, very thin formula, almost too thin. Like there's just not enough coverage with it. I'm gonna say this is a no. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a basic non-Milani concealer. I'll be right back. Now we're gonna try the liquid contour. So I got the shade number 1 Honey and number 2 Ginger. So yeah, top is Honey, bottom is Ginger. So let's put number 1 Honey on this side. This one actually looks more like a contour than the other one. This one looks more like a bronzer shade. So this is blending right in. Like it is such a thin formula that it just sinks in as soon as you touch your brush to your face. So I feel like it'd be kind of hard to go overboard with this. Very, very natural. It does not look over the top at all. So now let's go into number 2 Ginger on this side. I'm also gonna switch brushes. Same thing, blends out very, very well. It's a very thin formula, no blending issues whatsoever. But this one isn't that much darker than Honey. It's just a slight bit more orange. I love this shade for my skin tone. This is a very, very good shade for like bronzer for my skin tone. And then there is Ginger. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed. For blush, I'm gonna use one that I'm sure everyone has seen at least 1,000 times on every person's channel on here. This is the Milani Baked Blush, which is, this is just a go-to OG powder blush formula. It's just so nice. So I'm gonna use the shade Luminoso today. So baked products can be used wet or dry. I'm gonna try it wet, which I have never done before. I didn't really expect this to work. I was totally thinking this was gonna look really heavy or just not be very flattering. This is looking hella good. I tend to kind of ignore powders nowadays because I feel like they can look a little heavy, but I feel like these are so thin. Like they're just not like a traditional powder kind of formula. You can't see shimmer, you can't see glitter, it's just glow. I am impressed. Okay, so moving on to the liquid highlighter now. So I have the shade number 1 Lunar. Yeah, this is a really pretty, just basic gold shade. Okay, blending out very, very well. It's not drying too fast. So there's what that looks like with a stippling brush. Let's go on the other side with my finger. Let's see how it does with that. I actually think I like it better with my finger. It looks a little more glowy. So I will say if you have really, really pale skin, this might pull too yellow on you because it is definitely more of a yellow tone gold. But yeah, there's what that looks like. So it's not over the top. It's not super emphasizing of texture and stuff like that. Yeah. Nice and pretty and sheeny. So for powder, I actually have 2 I want to show you guys today. So I have a loose and a pressed. So the loose one is called the Make It Last Setting Powder. I have the shade number 1 Translucent Light to Medium. The other one is called the Conceal and Perfect Shine Proof Powder, and I have the shade number 2 Nude. I think I'm gonna do the loose powder on this side and the pressed one on this side. So I'm gonna start with the loose powder first, and I've been a long time fan of this one. No matter what I use it with, it just seems like it really makes everything last so much longer, and my face just looks really nice and smooth, and it never looks dry, crusty, crepey, cakey, nothing like that. I'm just gonna flip my little powder puff over and go on this side now. All right, so there's the loose side and the pressed side. So the pressed side definitely does have more coverage, but I feel like my pores look more filled in. Just like my skin looks more blurred overall on the loose powder side. I feel like I need to go ahead and do something with my eyeballs, but I don't want to do much. I'm just going to throw on a bronzer and just my mascara, I think. Let's just do that. This is the Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade number 1 Sunlight. Bada boom, bada bing, we're done. So for mascara, I have the highly rated anti-gravity mascara. So I was actually going to include this, and I think I did include this in a testing viral TikTok makeup video. You may or may not have seen that already, but let's throw it in again. This is a very, very good mascara for volume, for thickness, for fullness. It just makes your lashes look so thick. Like it makes your eyes look very big, just very open. Very jet black kind of formula, so it just really enhances your eye color. There's 1 coat. So as you can see, it just makes your eyes look very uplifted. It works as soon as you put the wand to your eyes. It's so quick. Look at the length. Look at that. That's with 1 coat. I will say that it's one that if you build it up too much, it can look a little thick, a little heavy, like it could look a little spidery. So yeah, there's 1 coat versus 2 coats. So it builds up very, very well. It's not one that, you know, after 1 layer, it keeps doing the same old thing. Like it definitely does build in every department. It gives you so much thickness and fullness and volume, especially like towards the base of your lashes, that it almost kind of gives you the effect of having eyeliner on. Okay, so there is 2 layers on both sides. So yeah, I do think I like 1 layer better. It just seems like with 2 layers, it kind of starts stunting the length. It doesn't look as lengthening. Okay, went into some e.l.f. Wow Brow for my eyebrows, and we're just gonna call it quits there. Lip products, let's do that. I'm gonna go into my NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Soft Spoken for this lip that I'm gonna do. I actually have a couple of different lip products to show you guys today. So I'm gonna do the lip oil that I have first so you can see the color without anything underneath. So this is the Fruit Fetish Lip Oil. I have the shade 130 Raspberry Peach. I personally don't get the hype in lip oils, to be honest. To me, there's really no difference in them and lip glosses. Like, I just feel like it's one of those things that the market introduced just to have a new product out there. I love the wand on this though. Like, it's a really nice, like, chunky kind of wand. Like, it's got a slight angle to it, but it packs on a good amount of product where you don't have to just continuously dip in there 15 times. So it's a very sheer color. This feels no different to me than a lip gloss. If anything, I feel like lip oils can kind of be more on the sticky side and they don't usually last as long on me. Yeah, I'm gonna layer it up for a second time to try to build up that color. Okay, so it built up just a little bit. Like, it's still a very natural pink kind of color. Like, it's like a Your Lips but better pink. This to me is just borderline just sticky and goopy. So yeah, I'll take this one off and put on a lipstick. So this is the Color Fetish Balm lipstick. So this is $10 at Ulta. I have the shade Lingerie. Oh, that's pink. Oh, that's pink. Okay, so it goes on so smoothly. Like, this is a very intensely pigmented, rich, moisturizing kind of formula. So I love the way it feels on the lips. It's very glossy, very shiny. It does definitely feel like a balm. Got the shine of a lip gloss and the intensity and pigmentation and glide of a lipstick. So that is actually really pretty and very, very comfortable. To finish, I'm gonna use the Milani Make It Last setting spray, which is an OG. I feel like everyone has tried this by this point, but this is a very, very good setting spray for improving the wear of your makeup. I definitely can compare this to the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. It works just as well in my opinion. I'm gonna draw my face down so you can see what kind of finish it gives. So it is exactly 6 o'clock right now. Yes, I know we're off to a late start once again. So the setting spray does add a tad bit of like a satin luminosity. It's not super dewifying or glowifying. It adds enough hydration to where it just makes your skin look more skin-like. So yeah, here's what everything looks like. So remember, this is the loose powder side and the pressed powder side. I'm not really digging the way the cream foundation is looking right now. Like, it just looks kind of heavy on both sides with both of the powders. I do think it looks more heavy with the pressed powder. Like, the pressed powder and the cream foundation just aren't jiving very well in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go about my day or my evening, and I'll see you guys later on tonight to do a final roundup. Alrighty guys, final checkout time. It is now 12:08 p.m. so we just hit the 6-hour mark. The Soft Focus Glow Complexion Enhancer. So a little reminder, we did put it on this side only, and I do see a difference in how luminous this side looks. It's not so luminous to where I look shiny, greasy. It's not melting down faster or anything, so I don't feel like it really affects the wear in a negative way. But especially in my cheek region, like right through here, you can see there's just more of a reflectiveness. It just looks a little bit more glassy, whereas this side, again, same products, like it just looks a little bit more flat. Yeah, this is a really good combination, these two right here. This is a win. Like, I need to use this way more than I do. Conceal and Perfect Under Eye Brightener. This is a no for me for a couple of reasons. Number one, if I'm using an extra product with concealer, I want to actually do something, because I'm not someone that likes to layer a whole lot. Like, I don't want to use more products than when I have to, unless it actually does something and makes a difference. My under eye area looks no different today than it does whenever I just wear concealer. So it's too thin. It's just not pigmented enough. But also, the fact that they have the gall, the nerve to repackage something that's literally the exact same product as something else they sell, that is to me extremely off-putting, very money hungry. The Conceal and Perfect liquid contours though, I actually really do enjoy these, and I feel like these are actually the highlights, the MVP of the video. The Conceal and Perfect liquid highlighter, I actually do like this, and I'm pretty surprised with the fact that it's held up so well. It's not my favorite liquid highlighter. Like, I don't know if it's a must-have, but it's a good formula. Cream to powder foundation. So I'm kind of on the fence about it, okay? So I'm gonna try not to be too wishy-washy, but basically I like it, but I don't love it. I want to try a new shade, and I also want to try it with no setting powder. But I mean, it held up pretty well overall. Has it been a very long wear test day? No. Some areas down here on my chin where it just looks kind of patchy and separated and just kind of like spackled, and I definitely do have better looking foundations. So I think for me, to the point where I can't do mediocre, I can't do average, I can't just do subpar. It's good, but it's just not that wow factor. For the powders, I definitely prefer the loose powder over the pressed one. I just feel like the pressed side looks a little more heavy, and also I didn't get as good of wear. This is the first area where I always see fade off, and that's what I'm seeing right through here. I can see my red spots, my acne, and it's not that noticeable on this side. So I do think the pressed powder it just didn't set it as well. I love this mascara so much. This is definitely like hiked its way up to my top 5 very quickly. So I do have a little bit of flaking and smearing under my eyes. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's not bad. It may be one of those formulas where if you apply too much, it starts to flake and stuff throughout the day. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick to one layer. I feel like I've made my opinion on the baked powder blush very clear over the years. I mean, I do have like 8 shades in it. But I am very shocked in how this applied with a damn sponge. It is beautiful and it held up so well. Like that's the thing, like this just, it holds up so well on the skin no matter if you're oily, dry, and I am loving it this way. I really like this Color Fetish Balm lipstick. I didn't think I would, especially the color is just, it's a little a pink for my liking. It held up for 2 hours before I took it off and it held up so well. Like it never started looking dry, crusty. It never started feeling uncomfortable or anything. Like I really like the way this wears. The Fruit Fetish lip oil, this is what I'm wearing right now by itself, no lip liner or anything. And this is okay. Again, I'm just not on top of the whole lip oil trend. I just think it's kind of gimmicky. I just don't think it's as good as what it's hyped up to be. The Make It Last setting spray, again, I've talked about this numerous times on my channel over the years, but this is a really, really good product. And this is one that I trust with every foundation, every powder, like just every face product. It just works so well. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know, what is your favorite product from Milani? Actually, give me your top 3 if you've tried multiples. So yeah, it's your turn. But if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more one brand reviews like it, then give this one a big old thumbs up. Here's an entire one brand review playlist. So yeah, there's more where this came from. And then here's another little ditty for you to check out next. Subscribe if you're not already and turn the notification bell on to always see my stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.